Greetings, friends.
Yeah, welcome to our latest newsletter. We felt it was time to come back out. We haven't done a lot of newsletters recently, but we just got the strong sense that it was time to come back out more actively in newsletters and probably some online groups pretty soon. So we wanted to let you know. And there's a reason why.
The time on the planet is getting more and more intense, and we know that you've noticed, because how could we not? And as this whole current picture unfolds, I continually am brought back to a time in my 20s when my life basically fell apart in so many ways. Just huge personal tragedies, relationship breakup, lost my job. Everything went south all at once. And, I was so young when this all happened, and I would ask in meditation, why is this happening to me? I'd look around and all my friends are having a beautiful life. They seemed happy and engaged and their life was unfolding in a wonderful way. Meanwhile, my life was completely falling apart, and I just couldn't understand why it was all going on. And what I would hear in meditation over and over again, every time I asked, is you are being prepared for a time when there will be large numbers of people in crisis. And that really struck me. I knew that the words weren't anything I could have made up. My mind didn't think that way. And I knew it was coming from a larger level. And I knew that it must be true. It had that feeling of truth that I couldn't deny. And it helped me align with what I was going through. It helped me to just show up for it day after day and slowly worked my way through it all to a place of moving forward in my life. And over the decades, because it was decades ago that I heard this, I've wondered, when is that time coming? And I felt impatient for it sometimes because it seemed like everything that I continued to go through was also part of this preparation. And I sense that there are many of you that are watching this that have also been put through your own unique type of preparation for this time that we now find ourselves in.
New Year's night this year, there's a group of us gathered here locally. And spontaneously, in the middle of a meditation, I heard, the second coming is now. It's upon us. The word second coming is not secular, it's not Christian. It's a time when there's this collective descent of the divinity into the core of our souls. It's the awakening. We knew it was coming. It's that time. The Buddhists talk about the coming Maitreya, the Hindus the Kalki, the Christ, the Shoyashant in Zoroastrianism. This is everywhere. But the time is now. And we've seen the reality of that in our session work with people. Things are happening in sessions, in one session that used to take months or years to happen. Because that light, that presence of the divinity that's coming down is lighting up everything from the inside, from the core of our souls. And everything unlike it is being pushed to the surface. And that's what we're seeing in our world. And you're probably experiencing yourself how fast things are moving through. It's like everything has to be completed. All the old karmas, the wounds, everything. And we either face it and embrace it internally, or we project it out there and we create more crisis for ourselves. We had a session, it's been probably maybe 3 decades ago. We were in Spokane with a woman. And she was out in the future. And she goes, I'm going really, really fast. Everything's going really fast. I'm speeding ahead. And they're really telling me I have to stay centered. I have to stay in myself. Because we're going to be going so fast that if we go a little bit off, we're going to be way off really, really quickly.
She said it's like a gyroscope. And I didn't even know what that was at the time.
Yeah.
But she said if it's spinning in its proper orbit, it's totally aligned and coherent. But the slightest spin off that perfect orbit, and it creates major chaos.
And that's the truth, and we're seeing that in people's lives. And it's like a really sharp place where the path divides. And if you take that path of really owning it all, looking at everything that comes up that's unlike peace, that's unlike joy, as an opportunity to awaken, instead of something that we need to deny, run away from, fix, project on something else, we can really make huge, rapid gains. And if we go the other way, it turns into a lot of chaos and pain really quickly.
So we just both feel like there's never been a more important time to live from the soul instead of the mind. And that obviously that's what we're here to help people do. And it feels that it's time for us to step up a little bit, be more present, be more out, make more videos, send out more newsletters, to just be that note, that still point in the midst of the whirling chaos that is just a reminder to come back to here. And don't get lost up here.
Yeah. And that's maybe your job too, is to be that still point.
Yeah.
Because that still point can hold the ground for this planet to evolve with more peace, less chaos, less destruction. And everything that we do to move more deeply into realizing our true self is immediately everybody gets it. There's no separation. We know that. Every piece that we work through makes it that much easier for everybody else. This is our job. This is what we came here to. It's showtime. It's showtime, friends. It was early in the year, I also heard this will be the year where the denial ends, that life is going to go on as usual. In other words, the normalcy bias is going to be popped for the collective. We can't go the idea that we're going to be able to continue on the same vector on any level on this planet. And I think we're starting to see that. The old order breaking down, which it has to for the new to come forth.
And that's it. What we're seeing all around us is simply the breakdown of the ego-based world in a nutshell. You know, the institutions, the structures, the everything that came from the ego mind and not the deeper self of humanity. And now all of that is disintegrating in all different kinds of ways, so that those new shoots of soul, of trueness, of realness, of authenticity, of the deeper reality can start to emerge.
That's the only path forward in the evolutionary vector that's asked of us, because where this planet's going, where this species is going, is to one in which beings are awakened to their true nature. They're living from here instead of from ego and mind. And that's the ticket you have to punch to get there. It's where it's going. So everything is pointing us in that direction. So we're here. We can be helpful. Connect with us. There's lots of good stuff on our website. There's
lots of stuff on our YouTube
channel. Check it out.
And if you feel like your life has spun you out a little bit further from your center than you like to be, we are here.
Yeah.
You know, an occasional session can do wonders to bring us back to that core place that we all want to live from. And if you know other people in your world who are going through big crises and you sense that they might have an opening for what we offer, feel free to recommend us to people. We're here to help. We're here to support awakening, to support the shift from the office to the cathedral, as our teacher Pearlie used to say. And we're available. So don't be a stranger. Be in touch with us. Let us know how your world is unfolding, and we will do the same as we feel guided.
So much love and many blessings.
Yeah, love and blessings to all of you. Namaste.